Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video where today I have a very special guest for you guys. As you can see on my screen there is a tank. What is this tank, you may ask? Well, this tank is the Panzerkampfwagen 8 MAUS. If you don't know what that is, go search it up on your own because I'm not going to explain it in the whole video, but basically the heaviest tank ever built in the world and is 188 tons. This behemoth is like fully armored and nothing can penetrate. Why am I making a video on this? Well, I'm in War Thunder, right? And War Thunder removed the mouse. Like, I don't know, but in an update, like 1.9 version, pretty sure. But, like, they removed the mouse. If you guys want to know why, you can actually listen to me talk about it. But if you guys do not want to know why, if that goes, do not want to know why, you guys can just skip this part. But the main reason is the mouse cannot be balanced. Why? Why it cannot be balanced? So before it was added to the game, right? It was before it was removed. It was in the game, and of course, it was 7.0, which was a pretty low battle rating for a giant behemoth tank. This tank had armor where no tank penetrated, and almost nothing can penetrate. So Gaijin has to do something about it. So they've up-tiered it to 8.0. Where right now it sits, and of course it's an event vehicle, so it'll get removed soon. I'll get added because this was added because of the anniversary, not because Gaijin just wants you to get the mouse. No. They added because of the anniversary, and the only lucky people like me can get this tank. Most of my friends did not because they didn't. For some reason, they didn't bother to care, or they cannot get tier 5. You need tier 5 to research this tank right away. So. Now, let me explain this very clearly, that the MAUS tank is, well, a German heavy super tank. And it was added into the game, and it was removed. It cannot be balanced, because at 8.0, it faces ATGMs, where you want to call it rockets, you can call it rockets. You want to call it, I mean, anything at 8.0 can pen this, right? There's no exception that something cannot pen this tank at 8.0 with the ATGM. So, the reason is, the mouse actually researched the history is like the mouse was like never actually got into battle. If you think that, you're wrong, but just saying, like, if you think that the mouse got into battle, like actual battles in real life, no, it did not. It did not even make it into real life. So the history behind this tank is like Germany needed a heavy breakthrough tank, and they need to make something that's worth it and valuable. So so Porsche designed this 188-ton behemoth tank called the MAUS, or the Panzerkampfwagen 8 MAUS, what they call it. But this was the heavy tank that was built, and there's one still around today in the tank museum in Moscow. But let me explain that later. But the history behind this tank is pretty weird. But let's just say that Germany needed a breakthrough tank, and they mounted this 128 millimeter KWK cannon. It's the same gun as the one on the Sturdy E-1000, which you can get at a lower battle rating and not a lot of armor. But this guy has a lot of armor, and this is actually worth it. So I'm gonna say this: Germany did not have a lot of materials back then, and it's 188 tons. How do you move 188 tons, you ask? Well, of course an engine, right, and tracks and wheels. But the engine it's very powerful, though. It only goes 13 miles per hour. Let me just show you here. Just start the engine, and it only goes 13 miles per hour on asphalt. Like, this is asphalt, okay? This is not grass, but the maximum speed is 13 miles per hour forward, and also, pretty amazingly, backwards. Show you here. So there you go, backwards and forward, which is 13 miles per hour. I don't know the kph, but I know the mph. So this is like 13 miles per hour, right? And it's very easy because the Luftwaffe no longer existed back then. It was like Germany was like in pain back then, so they didn't have the Luftwaffe. So Luftwaffe didn't exist, and every Allied bombing started going all over the place, and they think that we are free. We're bombing everything possible. So they're bombing like factories and slowing down German productions, and I mean, Germany was like this evil giant versus all the little angels. It's like a devil battling little angels. But like Germany, no one wanted to trade with them because Germany was doing this weird thingy. I think you should know it. I'm not gonna say it, but Germany was doing weird things, and no country want to like trade with them or do anything with them. So they had to do everything on their own, which is really hard. And they're losing materials and everything and money, even like cash or something like that. So they built this tank and they realized that it's too slow and the repair cost is too high and it costs like so much to build. So the mustache man cutted the MAUS production line and just said, we're gonna use all that material for like some useful things, and they never did, and they never got to use it because allies already came here, and they just all got raptured. But when the Russians came over, the tank was already built. There was two prototypes. One was the prototype 1, which had a simulated turret with no gun, and the prototype 2 was actually what's shown over here, which is the actual MAUS tank with the actual turret gun. But Germany was raided by Russia, and Allied bombing was like so many. So the mustache man was like, you know what, we're gonna cut the production on this thing, and we're never gonna use it again because it's too slow and there's so many problems to it. So Allies could just bomb this tank, like it could just be like air targets. So the mustache man was like, you know what, that's it, I'm done with this thing. You know, just leave it alone. So what they did is they blew up the two prototypes and it was left on the battlefield. Now, the one in the bombing, not the Bovington. Sorry, not my fault. My problems. Sorry. In the Moscow Museum, because I get Bovington, I get used to Bovington a lot. But in the Moscow Tank Museum, which is in Russia, you should know it. Like in the museum, the tank had a hammer and sickle on it, which represents the commies. And why did it have that on it? I mean, why did it even have there in the first place? Well, the only reason it did is because Germany painted that on there, just in case if Russia finds out this is actually like a weapon of destruction for the Germans. They were trying to make Russians think that this was a Russian weapon and this was just a Russian prototype, but it's not going to work that way. And the second thing is that that was like actually the prototype inside the what do you want to call it? I'm gonna call it the Moscow Tank Museum. It's like a prototype 1 hall formed on a prototype 2 turret, where Germany destroyed the MAUS tanks on like when they actually produced it, and so the turret 1 was, well, I mean the hall 1 was added together with the turret 2, which makes another MAUS. But sadly, it cannot move because it does not have an engine, and the interior is basically just destroyed and has nothing in it because Germany just like scrapped it. But they didn't have time, so they just like, you know what, we're just gonna bomb it. So they like bombed it, and that's how it actually got there because Russians captured it, and that was like, oh my gosh, this is cool. So that's what they did. But as you can see, the entire thing I'm trying to tell you is that the MAUS never got into actual battle. And it did not face like IS-6 and IS-7s and T-10s and Russian tanks, right? It did not face that, like, anywhere. And in War Thunder, it was at 7.0, and that's where all the giant Russian tanks sits. And that's where you don't want to go, because, I mean, my Leopard 1 was just getting raptured. But, I mean, just saying, like, I know the MAUS tank is good, and I know everyone wants it, but here's the thing. Got to remove it because it was unbalanced, and at 8.0, it was fighting the things that it was not supposed to be fighting with. It was like the right tank for the wrong war, or the wrong tank for the wrong war. Like, all the wrong reasons. And so, that's why Gaijin removed it, and it's now only an event vehicle. And if you want to grind for it, you could, but, I mean, I already have it since I grind through the summer, and I don't have to do this anymore. But, seriously, like, Gaijin removed it because of that reason, and it was added back now so people can have fun, not to rapture people with this. They put it at 8.0, so it's still the same pain and torture you have to go through to play this tank, but if you want to play this tank, you gotta do it, and right now, I don't have it yet, but maybe after a year or so, you can get it, because even though Gaijin is going to remove this in like 3 days, there's a thing. And the thing is that I want to say is that whoever puts a single research point in this tank could research it any time or buy it any time. So let's say that you're just like, you just researched it when I'm making this video, which is right now, you'll be safe. If Gaijin removes it like right after you clicked research button, you'll be safe because you put a research point on it, so Gaijin's not going to remove it unless Gaijin just decides, it doesn't exist in War Thunder anymore, and then they remove the entire tank, which might happen, but I'm not sure because Gaijin wants people to have the feeling of the MAUS tank, and they want people to have fun. But just saying, if it gets removed, then I'm sorry for everyone that's here, but that didn't get the tank. I mean, seriously, like this tank is very powerful, but just as you know, the War Thunder doesn't, it's balanced, and War Thunder doesn't decide on tanks like stuff. One sentence I learned from someone is my quote for the last sentence of this video is that it doesn't matter what tanks you're driving. It matters on who's driving the tank, not the tank that someone's driving, but someone who's driving the tank. So let's say if a smart commander and a stupid commander was commanding this mouse, stupid commander or any commander that's stupid will get killed. They think that they have a powerful tank. And let's say the smart commander knows how to play this tactically and knows how to hide in places, and that it matters on what kind of people plays this vehicle. So here's my quote: "It does not matter what tank you have; it matters who's controlling it. Don't judge a tank by its cover. It matters on you, and you are the one who's controlling it." So just to remind you on that. Second thing. Do not make rumors about why Gaijin removed it. There's so many rumors going around. Say that Gaijin hates the MAUS, or Gaijin removed the MAUS because of historical reasons. I mean, it all connects together, but not Gaijin hate the MAUS. The MAUS is liked by a lot of people. Not even Gaijin likes it themselves. But just saying, like, you don't have to be that fake story. You don't have to make up stories to recover from this mistake or from this removal that this vehicle that everyone makes. I mean, some people got like very mad at this and started hating the MAUS, say it's unfair. But I'm just saying, it's rumors, right? Rumors are never true until you find out what's really the truth. And all this facts I'm telling you about is actually not mine. It's actually from Spookton's video, where I'll post that link. And I'm inspired by him. And also, go subscribe to him too, because he's a really good YouTuber, and I watch him a lot, so you should too. But if you don't like my videos, you can go watch him. Okay, I personally do this for fun. I don't do it for any other reason than just getting subscribers and grinding too. I don't do that. I do this for fun. So just to entertain people on the internet who's having a hard time. As you can see, pandemics going around. Even I can't go outside, and my school is like shutting down. So here's the thing. Stay happy even though the times are hard, and be happy, Just don't get depressed. If you get depressed, go see a therapist or something. Don't be depressed. Everything's okay. You'll be fine. So, that's the end, and see you guys next video, and stay happy even though the time's hard. Goodbye.